Welcome to our deep dive into breaking the habit of being yourself.
Yeah.
Um, Written by Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Okay.
This book is really making a splash with its blend of neuroscience, quantum physics,
Yeah.
and personal transformation.
Right.
And you guys are in for a real treat because we're going to unpack some really intriguing concepts that
Yeah.
could like shift your whole perspective.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's fascinating
Yeah.
how much control we actually have over our lives.
Absolutely. And it's not just like theoretical.
Right.
Dispenza backs it up with scientific research and even gets like nods of approval from big experts in neuroscience and psychology.
Hmm.
So one of the like most mind-bending ideas that Dispenza throws out there is
Yeah.
the kind of, have you heard of this?
Of course.
Okay. So it's based on this observer effect from quantum physics,
Right.
which basically means that our focus can actually direct energy and shape reality.
Yeah. It really challenges that old Newtonian view with a
Yeah.
fixed objective world. Quantum physics suggests that things are way more fluid
Right.
and influenced by consciousness.
So are we saying that our thoughts can have a real, tangible impact on our lives?
Yeah.
Are we not just like passive observers?
That's what it implies. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Dispenza emphasizes that atoms, the building blocks of everything,
Wow.
are mostly energy.
Okay.
We are literally more energy than matter.
That's wild.
And how we focus that energy,
Right.
where we direct our attention, has a huge impact on our experiences.
So it's not even just about positive thinking.
No.
It's about like consciously directing our energy toward what we do want
Yes.
rather than dwelling on what we don't want.
Exactly.
Okay, what I find really fascinating is how Dispenza ties this into epigenetics.
Oh, yeah.
It like throws a wrench in that whole genes determine destiny.
Totally.
Yeah.
Epigenetics shows us that while our DNA sequence is fixed, the expression of our genes, which ones are turned on or off, can be influenced by our environment and choices.
So our choices can impact our genes.
That's right. You're not a slave to your genes.
Wow.
Every decision you make can influence how they behave.
So even like simple things like our daily habits or how we react to stress
Yes.
can impact our genetic expression.
Yeah. They've done studies on this.
Really?
Yeah. Dispenza shares this fascinating study about two groups of diabetics.
Okay.
One group watched a boring lecture after eating,
Okay.
while the other group enjoyed a comedy show.
Wait, so you're telling me that laughter can affect our genes?
The research suggests it can.
Wow.
Yeah. The group who laughed had a significant decrease in blood sugar, even more so than the lecture group.
Wow.
Further analysis showed they actually altered the expression of 23 different genes
What?
just by laughing.
That is insane. Okay, I am definitely going to be laughing more.
Good.
But how does this connect back to the idea of the quantum you
Right.
and shaping our reality?
It highlights the profound impact of our internal state. Our thoughts, feelings, and overall well-being can have on our biology, even down to the level of our genes.
Wow.
If something as simple as laughter can have that effect,
Right.
imagine the possibilities when we consciously direct our energy and attention.
That's incredible.
It is pretty amazing.
This is like giving me a whole new perspective on the power we have over our own lives.
It really is.
And this leads perfectly into Dispenza's discussion of the three brains.
Yes.
Nick?
He dives into the neocortex,
Okay.
the limbic brain, and the cerebellum.
Right.
Think of them as different parts of an orchestra,
Yep.
each with its own role to play.
Okay, so refresh my memory on what these different brain regions are all about and how
Yeah.
they like work together.
Well, the neocortex,
Okay.
the most evolved part, is like the conductor.
Okay.
It handles higher level thinking, learning, memory,
Okay.
and creates our sense of self. It's the seat of our conscious thoughts and decisions.
So is that where we make choices about how we want to shape our reality?
Exactly. Dispenza emphasizes the neocortex's role in personal transformation.
Oh.
It's the part of our brain we need to engage if we want to break free
Right.
from old patterns and create new ones.
So how do we do that?
Well, he highlights the power of mental rehearsal,
Right.
the idea that simply imagining ourselves performing an action
Right.
can create physical changes in the brain.
So if I vividly imagine myself nailing a presentation at work,
Right.
it's almost like I'm actually practicing it.
The brain doesn't always distinguish between real and imagined experiences,
Wow.
especially when those imagined experiences are vivid and emotionally charged. This is a powerful tool for personal growth.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But what about the other two brains?
Okay.
Where do they fit into all of this?
The limbic brain,
Okay.
often called the emotional brain,
Right.
handles our feelings,
Oh, yeah.
motivations,
Yeah.
and survival instincts.
Okay.
Think fight or flight.
Yeah.
It's closely tied to the cerebellum,
Okay.
which coordinates movement and stores physical habits.
Okay.
These three brains work in concert to shape our experiences.
So if we're stuck in negative patterns, is that because our limbic brain and cerebellum are calling the shots
Yeah,
based on past conditioning?
often, yes.
Okay.
And breaking free requires us to become conscious of these patterns
Right.
and consciously engage the neocortex
Okay.
to create new, more empowering ones.
Gotcha. This is all starting to connect.
Right.
We have the power to direct our energy with the quantum syntony. We
Mhm.
can influence our genes with our choices.
Yes,
And we have that incredible neocortex we can use to create new patterns.
it's true.
But how do we actually tap into all of this?
Yeah.
Where do we even begin?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Dispenza dives deep into the science of brainwaves
Okay.
and how meditation can be a powerful tool
Right.
for shifting from that busy, stressed out beta state
Yep.
to the more relaxed and receptive alpha state.
Okay, I've heard about brainwave states,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
honestly, I'm still a bit fuzzy on what they actually are.
Okay.
Can you, break it down for me?
Think of brainwaves as electrical impulses in the brain,
Okay.
like tiny waves of energy.
Okay.
Different frequencies of these waves correspond to different states of consciousness.
Okay.
Beta, the high frequency state,
Okay.
is associated with alertness and focus,
Right.
but also with stress.
Yeah.
Alpha, on the other hand, is slower and more relaxed,
Okay.
often linked with creativity and insight.
So when we meditate,
Yes,
we're essentially slowing down our brain waves
that's right.
to access a calmer, more creative state.
Exactly. And Dispenza points to fascinating research on experienced meditators
Okay.
who maintained coherent brainwave patterns even after returning to their daily lives. It suggests meditation can have lasting effects on our brain function,
Wow.
making us more resilient to stress and more open to possibilities.
This is making me want to dust off my meditation cushion.
Yeah.
But what about the whole breaking free from the past piece?
Okay.
How does that factor in?
Dispenza argues that our past experiences, especially those charged with strong emotions,
Right.
leave energetic imprints in our bodies, leading to habitual thoughts,
Okay.
emotions, and behaviors.
So we're carrying around the energetic baggage of our past.
In a way, yes.
Whoa. Okay.
He shares a compelling story about a man named Bill
Okay.
who was diagnosed with cancer twice
Oh, wow.
in the exact same spot.
In the same spot.
Yeah. Bill realized he had been holding on to resentment for over 30 years,
Wow.
stemming from having to give up his dream of becoming a musician.
So are you suggesting that his resentment contributed to his cancer?
Dispenza doesn't make a direct causal claim,
Okay.
but he highlights how unresolved emotional baggage can
Yeah.
create chronic stress,
Right.
which weakens the body's ability to heal.
That's a powerful reminder that our emotional well-being is directly connected to our physical health.
Absolutely.
So how did Bill break free from this pattern?
He decided to make a conscious change.
Yeah.
He went on a retreat,
Okay.
stopped dwelling on his resentment,
Right.
and focused on creating a new reality for himself.
Yeah.
His cancer went into remission.
Wow. That's an inspiring story.
It is.
But it can't be as simple as just changing our thoughts, right?
You're right. It's not just about thinking positive thoughts.
Right.
It's about aligning our thoughts, feelings, and actions to create a new state of being.
Okay.
And this is where the concept of the quantum field comes in.
Okay. I'm ready to dive deeper into the quantum field and how it all ties together.
Right.
But hold on, listeners. We'll have to pick up this thread in part 2 of our deep dive
Okay.
into breaking the habit of being yourself.
Sounds good.
Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Dr. Joe Dispenza's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I'm still processing all those mind-blowing ideas we talked about in part 1.
It's a lot to take in.
It is.
But it's truly empowering when you start to see how all these concepts connect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were just getting to the concept of the quantum field at the end of part 1.
Right.
And I'm ready to dive into that and understand how it fits into this whole idea of personal transformation.
Well, Dispenza explains that the quantum field is pure potentiality.
Okay.
It doesn't respond to just our desires or goals on their own.
So it's not like a cosmic vending machine
No.
where we put in our order and wait for it to magically appear.
Not quite. The quantum field responds to the alignment of our thoughts and feelings, the coherence of our energy.
Gotcha. So it's not enough to simply think about what we want.
Right.
We need to feel it too.
Precisely. Dispenza emphasizes that the quantum field responds to who we are being,
Okay.
not just what we were thinking. He tells a powerful story about a woman named Pamela who was struggling financially.
Okay, I'm sensing another one of those incredible transformation stories.
Yeah, Pamela was carrying a lot of emotional baggage,
Okay.
including resentment towards her ex-husband for unpaid child support.
Right.
Through meditation,
Yeah.
she began to release those negative emotions and cultivate a sense of gratitude and abundance.
So she shifted her internal state, her energy,
Yeah.
before she saw any external change.
Exactly. And what happened next is remarkable.
What happened?
Pamela received an unexpected promotion at work.
Wow.
And out of the blue, her ex-husband sent her a check for the entire amount of back child support he owed.
No way.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
This is pretty incredible.
That's a powerful example of aligning your energy with what you want to attract into your life.
It is.
But if we can truly shape our reality by changing our internal state,
Right.
why do so many people remain stuck in those negative patterns?
That's a great question. Dispenza acknowledges that transformation takes conscious effort,
Right.
dedication,
Yeah.
and a willingness to let go of old patterns.
It's not always easy.
It's not. It's easier to stay in our comfort zones,
Yeah.
even if they're not serving us.
It's true. I can see how that could be a major stumbling block for a lot of people.
It is. It's easy to cling to familiar ways of being,
Yeah.
even if they're causing us suffering.
Totally. It's like the classic comfort zone trap.
It is. Dispenza challenges us to become aware of our attachments, to our past,
Yeah.
our limiting beliefs, our
Right.
comfortable routines,
Yeah.
and to courageously step outside of those limitations.
So it's about breaking free from the self-imposed prison
Yes.
of our own conditioning.
Yes. He encourages us to become explorers of our own consciousness,
I like that.
to question our assumptions about who we are and what's possible.
It strikes me that this isn't just about achieving specific goals,
Right.
but about a fundamental shift in how we exist in the world.
You're hitting on a key point. It's about becoming conscious creators of our reality,
Wow.
rather than passive recipients of circumstance.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that we have the power to shape our experiences.
That's a pretty radical idea.
It is, but it's true.
But how do we actually bridge the gap between who we are now
Okay.
and who we want to be? Where do we even begin?
Dispenza provides a lot of practical tools and techniques
Yeah.
to help us on this journey of transformation.
I'm ready to hear about them.
One of the most powerful tools he talks about is mental rehearsal.
Oh, okay. We touched on that in part 1.
Right.
The idea that our brains don't always differentiate between real and imagined experiences.
Exactly. Dispenza believes mental rehearsal is key to creating a new self.
Okay.
It's not just wishful thinking or daydreaming.
Right.
It's about consciously and vividly experiencing our desired reality in our minds,
Okay.
engaging all of our senses.
So if I want to be more confident, I should imagine myself acting confidently.
Yes.
Really feeling those feelings of self-assurance.
Yeah. That's the idea. The more detail and emotion we bring to our mental rehearsals,
Yeah,
the more we're conditioning our brains to create that reality.
that makes sense.
Dispenza shares some pretty compelling stories
He does.
about people who have used this technique to overcome challenges and achieve their goals.
Like Kathy.
Yes, Kathy, who suffered a stroke that left her unable to speak.
Right. Doctor said she might never regain her speech.
It's a heartbreaking situation,
Yeah.
but Kathy refused to give up.
What does she do?
She dedicated herself to mental rehearsal,
Okay.
vividly imagining herself speaking fluently,
Right.
having conversations,
Yeah.
even giving presentations.
Wait, so she just visualized herself speaking, even though
Yes.
she couldn't physically do it?
Yes, and remarkably, after months of persistent mental practice,
Yeah.
her speech began to return.
Wow.
She defied the medical expectations
That's incredible.
and eventually regained almost full speaking ability.
It's amazing how powerful the mind can be when we harness it intentionally.
It really is. It highlights the fact that we are not limited by our circumstances or
Right.
even our current physical ability.
Right. Our minds have the power to shape our reality.
Exactly.
This makes me think about what Dispenza said about bridging the gap between who we are
All right.
and who we desire to be.
Yeah.
That gap can feel pretty overwhelming sometimes.
It can be. But he offers a powerful visualization exercise
Okay.
to help us bridge that gap.
I like it.
It involves imagining the qualities of our ideal selves,
Yeah.
how we would think, act, and feel
Okay.
if we were already living as that person.
So it's not just picturing a future version of ourselves,
Mhm.
but actually feeling what it's like to be that person right now.
Exactly. The more we can embody those desired emotions and behaviors in our minds,
Okay.
the more we send a signal to the quantum field
Right.
and to our own subconscious that this is who we are becoming.
This mental rehearsal technique is more than just wishful thinking.
It is.
It's a way to rewire our brains and create lasting change.
Precisely. It's not about wishing for a new reality. It's about creating a new self.
Right.
And when we do that, the quantum field responds accordingly.
I love how he brings the quantum field back into it.
Yeah.
It's like this invisible force that's constantly responding to our internal state.
Exactly. He reminds us that the quantum field doesn't judge or discriminate. It simply reflects the energy we're emitting.
So if we're radiating the energy of our desired selves through mental rehearsal
Right.
and emotional alignment,
Yes.
the quantum field will mirror that back to us
Yes.
in our external reality.
That's the idea. It's about becoming a vibrational match
Right.
for the reality we want to experience.
This is a lot to process, but it's incredibly exciting.
It is.
I'm feeling like we've only just scratched the surface of what's possible.
We've covered a lot of ground, but there's still more to explore.
Okay.
In Part 3, we'll delve into the practical applications of Dispenza's teachings
Okay.
and the specific techniques he recommends for creating lasting transformation.
I can't wait. Don't miss Part 3 of our deep dive into breaking the habit of being yourself,
It's going to be good.
where we'll explore even more mind-blowing insights and practical tools.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Welcome back, the final part of our deep dive into breaking the habit of being yourself. I'm feeling energized and ready to explore the practical side of all these incredible concepts we've been discussing.
It's one thing to understand these ideas intellectually,
Right.
but it's another thing entirely to actually apply them
Right.
and experience the transformation firsthand.
Absolutely. Dr. Dispenza doesn't just leave us hanging with a bunch of mind-blowing theories.
No, he
He
doesn't.
provides a wealth of practical tools and techniques
He does.
to help us embody these principles and create real change in our lives.
He offers a sort of roadmap for this journey of personal transformation with specific exercises and practices to help us rewire our brains,
Yeah.
shift our energy, and create a new and more fulfilling reality.
Okay, let's get to the good stuff. What are some of the key practices he recommends?
Well, he places a lot of emphasis on meditation.
Okay.
He sees it as a cornerstone practice for rewiring the brain and shifting our energy.
We talked about brainwave states earlier and how meditation can help us access that calmer,
Right.
more receptive alpha state.
Right. Dispenza goes beyond simply explaining brainwaves.
Okay.
He guides us through specific meditation techniques designed to help us quiet the analytical mind and connect more deeply with our subconscious.
That's interesting. What do those meditations involve?
Well,
What makes them different from other types of meditation?
he stresses the importance of creating a conducive environment for meditation,
Okay.
finding a quiet space,
Right.
minimizing distractions as much as possible.
That makes sense. It's hard to reach a deep meditative state when your phone is buzzing every few minutes.
Exactly. He even suggests using a blindfold to further reduce sensory input and enhance the ability to turn inward.
Yeah,
It's about creating a sanctuary for the mind.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
So once you've created the right setting, what happens next?
Dispenza guides listeners through a series of visualizations and affirmations designed to cultivate specific qualities like gratitude, abundance, and joy.
It's like intentionally planting seeds in the garden of your subconscious mind.
Exactly. And he reminds us to focus not just on the thoughts,
Okay.
but on the feelings we want to experience.
Right.
Engaging the emotional aspect of the experience is key.
Right, because the quantum field responds to our energy,
Yes.
not just our wishes.
Exactly. It's about aligning our thoughts, feelings, and intentions
Cool.
to create a powerful, energetic signature.
I can see how these practices could help us break free from those habitual thought patterns and emotional reactions
Yes.
that keep us stuck.
Mm-hmm.
But what about all the emotional baggage we've accumulated from the past? How do we address that?
Dispenza doesn't shy away from that.
Okay.
He offers techniques for identifying and processing those unresolved emotions that are holding us back.
He uses that powerful analogy of energy being trapped in our body.
Right.
Like little pockets of emotional density.
It's a vivid image. He suggests these trapped emotions create blockages, preventing us from fully experiencing our potential.
So how do we release this trapped energy?
He guides readers through visualizations and breathwork exercises to help bring those emotions to the surface
Okay.
and release them. It's almost like a process of emotional detoxification.
Sounds intense,
It can be.
but ultimately liberating, I imagine.
It is. He also emphasizes the importance of forgiveness,
Right.
not just of others, but also of ourselves.
That can be a tough one.
It can.
But I can see how holding on to guilt and resentment would create a lot of energetic drag.
Absolutely. Forgiveness is an act of freeing ourselves from the weight of the past.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah.
Breaking free,
Yes.
letting go,
Uh-huh.
creating space for something new.
You're picking up on the essence of it. Dispenza's teachings are all about empowering us to become conscious creators of our reality.
He encourages us to step into the unknown with courage and trust, to embrace the mystery and the magic of the quantum field.
Exactly. To recognize that we have the power to break free from the habit of being ourselves.
Right.
The selves defined by our past conditioning.
Right.
We can create a new reality.
Yeah.
A reality aligned with our deepest desires and highest potential.
I have to admit, I'm feeling a mix of excitement and a little bit of fear
That's understandable.
as I consider all of this.
That's completely natural. It takes courage to step outside of our comfort zones
Yeah.
and embrace the unknown.
But as Dispenza reminds us, the quantum field is a field of infinite possibilities.
It is, and when we align ourselves with those possibilities,
Yeah.
we open ourselves up to a whole new world of experience.
This deep dive has been a profound journey.
I agree.
I'm walking away with a renewed sense of hope and empowerment.
That's great.
I'm ready to put some of these techniques into practice.
That's the spirit. Remember, you have the power within you to create the life you desire.
Hmm.
Don't be afraid to experiment, to explore, and to step boldly into the unknown.
I like it.
The quantum field is waiting.
That's it for our deep dive into breaking the habit of being yourself. We hope you've enjoyed the journey and are feeling inspired to embark on your own transformation. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those hearts open.